Tools and Twisties, precision tools and performance cars. Today we're going to go over some Amazon deals and tool haul. We're also going to be giving away one of the things that we talk about today, so make sure you stay tuned and we'll talk about which one and how to enter for the giveaway. First, let's start with these Knipex plier wrenches. These are the small version, the 8603 125. I have them in the large version and I love them. And these little ones I decided to pick up and see how useful they would be. And they're just really super for grabbing and bringing with you someplace where you're not sure if you're going to need some tools and what you might need. But these plier wrenches are pretty awesome. You can use them as a pliers and really they lock down as a wrench quite well. You can check out some of my other videos. We talk about them a little bit more. Knipex, made in Germany. This one is not an inexpensive tool, 45 bucks about. And I'm going to have links for all the tools below. Make sure you check them out and let me know what you think. So at any rate, yeah, about 45 bucks for this Knipex plier wrench in the small 125 version. Really nice little tool. Also picked up this Knipex flat nose needle nose pliers, and I didn't have any any quality needle nose pliers in this sort of form factor before. And I wanted to pick these up. And these were also relatively inexpensive. These were, I think, 21 bucks. Again, prices vary a lot on Amazon. I'm going to have links below, and I'm always going to try to link to the best price available on Amazon, but they do change over time. Knipex, made in Germany, lovely tools, and surprisingly affordable for many of them if you get some that are on pretty good deals. And I really like these. So again, good tool. Another German tool that I picked up are these, and I'll butcher the name, Stahlwille. Another German tool. It's a competitor of Knipex, and I had not had any of their pliers before. I saw these on Amazon. They were on sale for 22 bucks. I think the normal price is 30. So I picked them up, and they're sort of similar to the Knipex alligators. I have the Knipex Cobras, which have a little bit different adjustment mechanism, but are very similar. And I got to say that I had high expectations for these Stahlwilles, and not so much. They feel kind of cheap compared to the Knipex, and especially if you're paying, when they were on sale for 22 bucks, not too bad, but at the normal price of 30 bucks, that's pretty close to what the Cobras cost. And these are just phenomenal tools, belong in every toolbox. And I'll have a link to both of these below. But of the two, I would say the Knipex is clearly the winner. Other Stahlwille tools are quite nice. Maybe they're just not known for their pliers. Maybe this particular plier is designed to be very lightweight. I don't know, but it's a no-go. Let's just leave it at that. What else do we have? We have the Wera precision screwdriver set. I love the Wera screwdrivers, and I have most of the larger sizes in standard screwdrivers. I have them in nut drivers. I have them in hex drivers. I have them in Torx drivers. They are my go-to drivers. It's a German company. They're made in the Czech Republic, not in Germany, but still very, very high quality. And sorry, it's a little hard to see when they're all jumbled up in my hand. But this is a set of very small Phillips and flathead screwdrivers. Really nice quality and surprisingly inexpensive. I think 20 bucks for this entire set. Again, I'll have a link to them below. And highly recommended, especially if you don't have a set of precision screwdrivers or if you just have a junky set. But the difference in price between complete trash and these Weras with a lifetime warranty and super high quality design and implementation, clearly get the Weras. What else do we have? We have the new Klein ball end screwdriver. Really better than most of the other ones out there, surprisingly. They lock in super nice. They accept virtually any bit, except the only bit they won't take are the super small ones, which just go too far in. And if you want to use those, you still can use them. You just need to use a bit adapter or something so that you can put them in there. $17. Along with the screwdriver, I also picked up the Klein 4-in-1 nut driver. And I think this is a perfect, this is a perfect companion for this tool. They make this in a 2-in-1, a 4-in-1, and a 6-in-1. This is the metric version. And it has a 10, a 12, and a 7 and 8 millimeter. And I think the 6-in-1 has two larger ones, and the smaller 2-in-1 only has the 10 and 12. But this is about a perfect size. The combination of this and maybe one other bit that covers whatever you need, Torx or square drive or whatever you use most frequently, and you have a heck of a combination of a tool set in a very compact package. And again, this vessel locks in super tight. You get a minimal amount of play. It feels like a great screwdriver. As a comparison, this is the vessel, sort of inexpensive vessel version. It doesn't have any sort of locking mechanism, just sort of semi-locks in there, but not nearly as tight. It's a much lighter weight tool. It's 11 bucks instead of 17 bucks, but you know, when you're talking about that inexpensive of a tool, a few bucks doesn't make a big difference. But I would say, you know, the vessel bits are quite nice, and the vessel bits, of course, will go right into the Klein driver without any issue at all. But I would say that this Klein, man, they came on the scene fast. These were hard to get. And are now available. And again, make sure you watch to the end, and I'm going to pick one of these tools, and I'll tell you how you can enter to receive it as a freebie for subscribing and giving me some information on what you think your favorite tool is out of this bunch. At any rate, I'll have a link to the vessel as well if you're interested in this super inexpensive, still a great tool for 11 bucks. But this Klein for 17 bucks is pretty awesome. And whether or not you want the nut driver or not, set the flip sockets, I think they call them, you can decide as well. What else do we got? We got the Capri flex head 1/4-inch ratchet. And I had previously, if you watched my other videos and you saw my socket war series, I had reviewed the 3/8-inch version of this. And I thought this was a lovely tool. I thought this was a great tool for about 31 bucks, 32 bucks at the time. I'll have a link to this one as well. Did really well. So it's a pretty close clone of the Snap-on flex head, 72 tooth. You know, pretty smooth ratchet, not too bad on the back drag. The head is got the right amount of tension. So I picked up the 1/4-inch version, and I was kind of surprised that the back drag on this one is pretty much awful. It's terrible. It's so bad, in fact, I thought it might be defective, and I ordered a second one, which is exactly the same. So took one of them apart and did a re-lube on it, and it made it a little bit better. But, you know, I'm not a huge fan of taking ratchets apart when you buy them. I kind of feel like the manufacturer should be delivering them good to go. If you got a really inexpensive ratchet and you want to try to improve it, you know, you can try opening it up and putting in some high quality grease or some high quality oil, but knowing which is the right one to put in is sometimes tricky. You put in grease when it wants oil and it will stick. You put in oil when it wants grease and it's not going to do the job. So at any rate, this is the Capri 1/4-inch flex head. It was a pretty inexpensive ratchet. I think this was 23 bucks, and I really like the price point, but I gotta say that back drag is a deal breaker for me. Just sort of as comparison, here's an Astro, also very inexpensive. I think it's like a $12 ratchet. It's not a flex head, but it is I think it's a 72 or 80 tooth, I can't remember. Very inexpensive Taiwanese ratchet, and back drag is minimal. This is a better tool at a lower price, and I don't mean that as a knock on Capri, because again, I think this 3/8-inch version of the Capri tool is excellent. So if you need a flex head and you really can't, I don't know, it's hard for me to recommend this one. What else do we have? We have these Teng tools. Teng is a Swedish company, and I really like this style of sort of handled extension, where there's a female, in this case 1/4-inch, and a male 1/4-inch, and you can use it to pop it on a socket and use it like a nut driver, get something started, and then you can pop a ratchet on the end, tighten it down. I love this sort of tool. And my go-to is this Snap-on version, which unfortunately they no longer make. They make a tool with the same exact part number, but it doesn't have the female end in it anymore. There's a couple other companies that make these sort of female and male extensions. And when I saw these Teng tool ones, you know, I grabbed them. This is 10 bucks. and I bought it in a 3/8 inch version as well. And this is 15 bucks. You know, the 1/4 inch one is not nearly as nice as the Snap-on. At 10 bucks, it's not a screaming good deal, but it will do the job. It's not bad. It does not say country of origin on the tool. It does not say country of origin on the tags. I can only assume it's made in China. Instead, it feels like it's a Chinese tool instead of a Taiwanese tool. I would rather they list the country of origin. I would rather it was a Taiwanese tool, but you know, it is what it is. If you can find one of these Snap-ons on eBay, you're probably going to pay 50 or 60 bucks for it. So, you know, 10 bucks or I think it's 11 bucks. Again, I'll have links for this one below. Not a bad deal. And I love this style of tool. On the 3/8 inch one, I don't have one of these. I don't have a handled extension in 3/8 inch drive. This is a pretty beefy tool. And again, it maybe makes a little less sense for 1/4 inch, for 3/8 inch than it does for 1/4 inch. But it's nice to have that where you can put that on there and start things by hand. And then you can pop this is probably the wrong ratchet, pop a little short handled ratchet on there, tighten things down, back it off, and then just, you know, sort of like a spinner wheel. Very useful tools. I really do like them. Just sort of as another alternative, Koken makes a lovely, lovely spinner. This is their 1/4 inch version. They make it in 3/8 inch as well. And these have the Wobble-Fix end on them. So when you put it on part way, it's a wobble. And when you push it on all the way, it's a fixed extension. Now these do not have the female end on them. If these were through shaft with female end, this would be my new go-to tool. I would just love this tool. As it is, it's still a very useful tool. And these are also not terribly expensive. I think this one was, I can't remember what the price on this one was, but at any rate, you know, the thing about the Koken tools is they vary quite a bit. I'll have a link below to the Koken on Amazon and also the Koken directly. But the prices do vary a fair bit. So sometimes you have to be patient and wait for the price to come up that you're willing to spend on the Koken stuff. What else do we have? We talked about that. Also picked up one more Koken tool. This is a 1/4 inch fixed push button release. I love the Koken ratchets, and I probably spent way too much on them recently. But these two kind of give you a good example of how Koken product line works. These are both 160 millimeter. One is a 1/4 inch, and one is a 3/8 inch and a 1/4 inch body. One is a swivel head without a push button, and one is a fixed head with a push button. And you can get different permutations of this. You can get it in the non-160, the shorter length. You can get it with or without flex head. You can get it with or without push button. So you end up and get it with or without 1/4 inch or 3/8 inch drive. So basically, in a very similar ratchet, there's like, you know, 6 or 8 different permutations. And again, the prices kind of vary, but I love the Koken. And oh my, the back drag on this is just lovely. And like if you compare it to the this Capri that I was sort of complaining about, it's the back drag on this Capri is kind of ridiculous. So much back drag on it. Yeah, I don't think I would enjoy using it. And this one, you barely feel. Yeah, the Koken just makes lovely tools. So what are we going to give away? We are going to give away this Klein screwdriver. I have a new one. You'll get the new one. But it's this exact screwdriver made in Japan. I think this is a great tool. I think this, you know, I think I'm going to buy a bunch of these for holiday gifts. And it's going to be, I think it's going to be a big seller. It goes in and out of stock all the time on Amazon. So if you want to grab one, they're in stock now. I suggest you grab it quickly. Or like and subscribe to my channel and let me know which of these tools you know you were most interested in, and which tool you maybe would like to see reviewed in the future. And I will pick at random in 2 weeks one of those names and send you out this tool. So good luck with that, and appreciate your feedback and your support as always. Channel's growing super fast, and it's due to you guys. So thanks again for watching the videos, and please feel free to comment about what you like, what you don't like, what you'd want to see. That's pretty much, I think, our tool haul for the past couple of weeks. Some Knipex, some Koken, some Wera, you name it, Stahlwille. I'm not dedicated to any one tool brand. I'm looking for the best tools at decent and affordable prices. Snap on when it's needed, and not opposed to a $12, Astro Ratchet, if that does the job. Astro makes some great tools, by the way. So that is Tools and Twisties, and we are out.